Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an airline pilot, and welcome back to my current favorite very light jet in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The Honda jet has just received a free upgrade into the new simulator, adding a lot of things like a brand new model, especially on the interior, as well as an electronic flight bag, and of course it still contains all of the lovely features we got to love in our Honda from the past. I'm really looking forward to flying this one, and we are going to take it from Nice, Côte d'Azur over to Birmingham, which is going to be a quick 2-hour and 20-minute flight in flight level 430. Alright, I'd say without any further ado, we are going to do the walkaround, taking all those covers and FS24 specific features away over here. Also going to take the chocks at this point already, and then we can collect the engine covers. Get a quick overview of our aircraft, as it has been parked here for a couple of days while our clients have been at the Yard Harbor and doing business here in Nice, and now we are going to bring him back to the UK. So, that walk around is looking good, our aircraft is in a good shape. Let's go ahead and open that door, and then we are going to get inside. Now, beautiful new cabin model. We are just going to have a quick look here, making sure that everything is in good condition for when our guests are going to arrive. Also making sure that the tables have been cleaned, which they have. Everything looking good over here, and also on this side over here. Now, lastly, a quick look into our bathroom, and again, the Honda jet is the only very light jet that actually has a dedicated bathroom available. In all the other very light jets, you would be folding a seat up, then you could be shitting in front of your business partners. Well, I'll leave that for everyone to decide if you want to do that, or if you prefer the comfort of the Honda. Alright, so let's take a seat in the cockpit of our Honda jet, and then we can start with a bit of a setup down here. Now, before we do any of that though, let's go ahead and have a very quick look into our flight plan to determine the amount of fuel that we are going to carry. So, starting right down here, this is going to be our route departing Nice, and then we're more or less flying in a straight line all the way over to Birmingham. The significant weather chart shows us a couple areas over here, especially on the departure. We're looking at moderate turbulence up to flight level 400, which is also the reason why I've planned the cruise up in level 430, where we should be out of any of that turbulence. Now, heading over, we got some moderate icing on our way down into Birmingham, but apart from that, it's looking quite good. For the airport weather, we got westerly winds in Nice, with runway 22 left being our expected departure runway. Clear skies, 17 degrees. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as nice over in Birmingham, where it's cloudy, where it's cold, and where it is likely to get pretty windy during the day. We'll see about that. If the weather becomes too bad, we might be diverting, and for that, Manchester is the planned alternate with a Prop 30 tempo weather down there. So, not all that good. Apart from that, we also have Stansted planned, which also has that weather, but a bit later, so Stansted should be fine by the time that we are arriving. Now, let's go ahead and see what that is going to do to our fuel plan. An on-time departure at 10:35 is going to result in an on-time arrival in Birmingham. We are 300 freedom units shy of the maximum takeoff weight, which is something we gotta take into consideration today. And now looking into the plan, Stansted needs an additional 121 pounds of fuel, so we are definitely going to take that. So I'd say we just loaded right up to the maximum takeoff weight, getting us to somewhere around 2,500 pounds of gas, and then we'll just see what the load sheet is going to say from there on. So let's go ahead and have a look into the weights and services over here. We've got 4 passengers, which we are going to load in the aircraft like this. Also, I do want a bit of that cargo in the back over there, bringing ourselves nicely into the CG envelope. For the fuel then, let's go ahead and just bring it right up to the maximum gross weight. And here we go. That's 2,450 pounds of fuel. So with that, we are just about legal for that flight. Overall, looking good though. So let's just go over to the ground services and get ourselves a ground power unit over here, so that we got electrical power, and then we can go ahead and get going on setting our airplane up. So let's turn that battery on. I just love the simplicity of the Honda flight deck. There's really just a couple units down there and up here, and that's it already. Now let's go ahead and switch that thing on. Everything starts initializing. I like it. We can already switch the standby Ryzen to hectopascals down here. And then let's start having a look into our setup. So what I'm going to do is we will open up that... we will open up those checklists over here. You can operate the checklist using that thumb wheel down there, or you can assign those to your control column, which is what I've done. So let's go ahead and go over it. Before starting engine checklist, battery on, oxygen checked on and normal, pressurization normal, electrical on, and let's turn that external power on as well, on and normal, ELT normal, nose wheel steering, that's down here, is normal. Landing gear, I really don't know why it loads with the gear switch up, but here we go. Landing gear down, alternate gear handle in, park and brake set, flaps up, and thrust levers cut off, speed brake retracted, ice protection normal and off, fuel panel normal, trim panel checked, set and normal, windshield panel normal, pneumatic panel down here is normal, glass shield panel dark, chime normal, and avionic initialization is going to be started now. So let's go ahead and start on the utilities initialization, system tests, pre-flight. So it's just going to do those all automatically. Left engine fire test, right engine fire test, then comes the stick shaker, this side and on that side, and now it's going to do the light test, which is all looking fantastic. Alright, so that thing is done. Then let's move on into the weight and fuel. So crew and stores, 180 pounds is looking good. Then we got the payload, 4 passengers plus 200 pounds of cargo. For the takeoff, fuel on board is 2,450 pounds. Like this, and then for the landing, let's see, 30 minutes holding time looks correct. Holding basically is final reserve, and then fuel reserves is our alternate fuel in this one. So let's find that in the plan, 307. Like that, and with that we are looking good. So our weight and balances are initialized. We'll do the speed bugs a little bit later on. Just get them from the sim, turn them all on, thank you very much. And with that our initialization is completed, so we can accept that. Now let's go into the flight plan and start programming all of that. We are departing Lima Fox Mike November, and our SID is going to be from runway, no, not 04. What are you doing? Probably have to find that departure first. Barot 7 Zulu departure, runway 22 left, load. Like this, and then direct Nedru. By the way, yes, I am aware that you can actually download the entire flight plan from SimBrief as well. However, I gotta say that in the real world you would not really be doing that on an airplane like this. Like, you just wouldn't have data link. So for that reason I kind of prefer to type these things in manually down here as well, as it's just a little bit more realistic. And in case you're wondering why you wouldn't have data link on an airplane like this, well, just keep in mind there always has to be... There just always has to be an opposite part as well, like there needs to be a server somewhere. And for a business jet operator, is that worth it? Nah, too expensive. Especially if you simply have, if you can simply type that stuff in yourself as well. After all, this only takes a minute or two. Okay, Bravo, Romeo, Yankee, and that's gonna be Bray-sur-Seine in France. Then we got Charlie Lima Mike. What some operators do, by the way, if they really just want to hurry it, is that they don't even enter the entire flight plan on the ground, but simply enter like the first couple of waypoints that you could realistically expect to fly to. and then they just enter the rest when they're in the air. So you can always do that if you want to save yourself some time. I just want to get the entire thing in here because okay, Demar, that's because it's Demar. Okay, that's entered. Then we got Aliso. And then Tango 420 to Hamel. So from here, load airway, Tango 420, and that one leads us to Hamel. Alright, load that airway, thank you very much. And at destination, Echo Golf Bravo Bravo, Birmingham. Okay, for Birmingham, let's go ahead and load the arrival as well. Hamel 1 Bravo arrival. And that's down here, runway 15 at the moment, load. And for the approaches, we will pick the ILS to runway 15, including radar vectors, which we can load as well. Okay, lovely. So that stuff is now down here. Then let's go and have a look into the VNAV page. VNAV is enabled, FMS speed 190 is alright. So for the climb, we will do a maximum rate climb at 210 knots and Mach 0.57, transition altitude 5000, speed 250 below 10,000 and maximum 200 below 2500 within 4 miles of the airport. Looks good. For the cruise, we'll do maximum cruise to 70.72. That looks good, and we'll set the descent up when we get closer to the descent later on. Alright, so far so good. Then let's do our airport charts. For that, let's get the chart options, and we will be using Navigraph charts here, but as you can see, you also got the option for FAA charts as well as Lido charts. Now, for business jet operation, Japason is the most realistic, or rather the most likely to be encountered. I'm sure that you will find one business jet operator doing otherwise. Okay, so now let's move the controller over here. We do want charts, and then for Nice, we got the radar minimum chart over here. The one thing that's currently not working, unfortunately, is the ground charts. I'm not sure what it is that it doesn't have those in here, but there must be a bug somewhere in the Navigraph modules, which means if we do want ground charts, currently we do have to switch over to the Lido charts. Now, have a look at this airport diagram, there it is, and you can give me that thing in full screen, please. Okay, so let's see, delivery is on 121.78, that's 121.780, which we can set active, and then ground will be 121.705. Like that. Now we need the ATIS on... Can't actually read that. Let's see, ATIS 136580. So switch that active and then 1 to 1.5. Alright, so far so good. Let's go ahead and listen to that ATIS and see what we are going to be up to. 136580. That should be the correct frequency. Interestingly enough, the Say Intentions app tells me that according to the database, it should be 129605. Huh. Well, no comment.
Altitude and if traffic service
that works.
Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Sierra. Nice Côte d'Azur Airport. Information Sierra. 1000 Zulu. Arriving runway 4 left. Departing runway 4 right.
Of course they've just switched the runways.
Cav OK. Temperature 17. Dew point 1. QNH 1010. Transition level 80. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if traffic service is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information Sierra.
Alright, information Sierra is on board. Let's grab the IFR clearance and see what they're going to clear us to, and then we decide, then we do all the resetup. Nice delivery, November 420 Hotel Echo information Sierra, request IFR clearance.
Clearance on request, stand by.
Actually, small little mistake there. That should read 450 Hotel Echo. That's the actual call sign we are using.
November Hotel Echo cleared to Birmingham via the Bay Dot 7 Alpha departure runway 4 right. Initial climb to 5,000 feet. Departure on 120.160 squawk 6325.
Clear to Birmingham by the Bardock 7 Alpha departure, runway 4 right, climb 5,000 feet, departure 120.16, squawk 6325, November 450, Hotel Echo.
November Hotel Echo, read back correct. Contact ground on 121.705 when ready.
121.705 when ready, November Hotel Echo. Alright, good. Then let's just re-enter that SID. Procedure, departure, Bardock 7 Alpha, runway 4 right, load. Here we go, and then let's have a look at that thing in the charts. So, departure, SIDs, 4 left and right. Lots of them over here. And we got Bardock 7 Alpha, there it is. So is there any inset on this? No, there isn't? Okay. Well, then let's go ahead and have a look. I wonder why those waypoints over here aren't spelled. Like, there definitely should be an inset, huh? Says here as well, see chart initial climb. There is no chart initial climb over here. Is there one here? Did they maybe... Nope. Alright, so a little bug with the chart display over here. They didn't just accidentally put that somewhere else, did they? Initial 4 left right, is that it? No, that's for the approaches. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, then that part is just missing, so we'll just have to trust the chart here. Or we just switch around between the Navigraph and the Lido charts, because then I'm sure we will actually find something. So, departure, Bardock 7 Alpha. Here it is. Okay, and now we actually got a complete version. Interesting, but hey. Okay, so for the flight plan, we are going straight out to 420, then Mike November 047, 209, inbound Mike November 064, and that's above 5,500. Then we are proceeding towards Orcog, above level 70 and maximum 210 knots. And then we proceed via Miro towards Bardock, and that's exactly what we got down here. Okay, so that is looking good so far. Then let's just enter the rest of our clearance. 12016 is the departure frequency. I'm going to preset that in here. Then our squawk is 6325. Like that. And that's it. Alright, lovely. So everything is in here, everything is done. Then let's go ahead and complete the checklist, please. So, avionic initialization is complete, and that's the before starting engine checklist complete. Alright, forgot the initial climb, 5,000. That seems a little jumpy. 5,000, here we go. And toga mode is selected. Alright, I like it. So with that, we have completed our avionics setup. With that, we are basically ready to go up here. So, welcome aboard our Honda Jet. We are going to start our pushback and the engines in a matter of the next couple of minutes, and we expect a flight time of 2 hours 20 minutes. Maybe a little bit of turbulence in the initial stages of the climb, and then it should be smooth for the rest of the flight. If you've got any questions, feel free to let me know, and in the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy the trip with us. You can find the toilet in the back, and if you need any drinks, we got a couple stowed up here in the front, so just do let me know, okay? Alright. Then the ground power can be removed. The plane can survive on the battery for quite a while here. And then let's get GSX and prepare the position for pushback and departure, please. Funnily enough, we do have Navigraph charts available on here as well, so we can just open the taxi chart down here while we keep all the rest open on the primary flight display and multifunction display. So let's just go ahead and grab ourselves that taxi chart over here, like this. Okay, so we got this for actual taxi, and then we got this for, you know, all the rest. Okay, looks good. Let's get that. No, not that way. That way. And where's the click spot? Here it is. You give me the map. Like that. Okay, good. Then we're ready to go. They're attaching the TOC, so let's call for a pushback. Transponder is on auto, and it's good on there. East ground, November 450 Hotel Echo, request pushback and startup.
November 450 Hotel Echo, East ground, pushback and startup approved.
Pushback and startup approved, November 450 Hotel Echo. Okay, starting engine checklist. Passenger briefing complete. Rudder pedals. Wait a moment. Wrong controller. Okay, you go back onto the map, please. The nose comes left. So you go back onto the map, and you go back over here. Okay, so passenger briefing complete. Rudder pedals adjusted. Seats and seatbelts adjusted and secure. Doors closed. Park and brake set. CAS messages reviewed. Voltage 23.5 minimum, and then we're ready for engine start. Okay, so ground cockpit. Push and start approved. Runway 04 in use, and the parking brake is now released. Roger that, start the pushback and stand by for the engines. Roger. Okay, so we'll be starting in sequence 2 then 1, and you advise us as soon as we can start number 2. Roger that. And hit clear 2. Starting 2. That's all you need to do. And we've got a good start 2, starting 1. Clear 1. And the pushback is completed, set brakes. Brake set. Alright, and that is looking like we've got 2 good engine starts. So, continue the checklist. Engine started, engine instruments checked, engine anti-ice not required off, external power is disconnected, and flight controls. Full up, full down, neutral. Full left, full right, neutral. And they have removed the equipment, rudders, left, right, and neutral. Okay, free and correct. And that's the starting engine checklist complete. B4 taxi checklist. Wing anti-ice. Off. Squawk entered. Flight ID confirmed. Flight plan entered. Nav source FMS. Altimeters QNH 1010. Flaps. Are set for takeoff. Speed brake is checked then retracted. Cabin signs. Let's see. Systems, controls, interior. Now on. Okay, cabin signs on and parking brake to go. November 420 Hotel Echo, request taxi.
November Hotel Echo, runway 04 right, taxi via Uniform Tango, Charlie, Uniform Alpha, Alpha 1, hold short of runway 04 left, then Alpha 2, Whiskey, Whiskey 3.
November 450 Hotel Echo, taxi to runway 04 right via Uniform Tango, Charlie, Uniform Alpha, Alpha 1, hold short for left, then Alpha 2, Whiskey, Whiskey 3. Okay, so that sounded rather complex, let's make it easy. Uniform Tango, Alpha, Alpha, Whiskey, Whiskey 3. So, more or less, tell you what, we can just go, I think it's straight, Uniform, and then Tango over here. Okay. So, we're clear on the left side. We are clear on the right side. Parking brake released, and that's the before taxi checklist complete. So, let's go. Taxi checklist, brakes, checked, nose wheel steering, checked, flight instruments, checked, taxi checklist complete. Alright, so we are more or less on Tango already. I'm not 100% sure where it got that uniform stuff from, but basically we just continue straight ahead on Tango over here. So that no entry sign only goes the other way around. Now I must say the Honda Jet feels very nice during taxi over here. I think this is where they want us to go, onto Tango over here. Yep, that is Tango. I gotta say, it feels really nice. Needs a little bit of thrust to get moving, but once it's moving, we're in idle and it's rolling pretty well. It does seem to feel like it's slowing down a little bit every now and then, so we might just have to add a little bit extra thrust occasionally. Also, let's get that tablet a little bit more into our view here. That's nicer, isn't it? Okay, so Tango is more or less straight ahead. So it's got to be this way over here. So yeah, it does feel like the Honda just slows down a little bit every now and then, so it might need a bit of thrust to get moving a bit quicker, but apart from that, it's moving really nicely. Also, I do like that feature of the ability to move the EFB around like that, so that we can actually get the taxi chart into our main view of over here. Okay, so we continue straight on Tango, which goes into Alpha and then Alpha 1 to hold short of runway 04 left. Now, one thing you might not have seen me doing yet is switch any of the lights. And that's actually not required. So if you go down here into the aircraft controls, system controls, exterior lighting, then you can see that they all have a normal mode over here. Normal basically means auto in the Honda, and therefore all the lights are operated automatically. That's one of the nice things of the aircraft being certified for a single pilot operation. It basically just allows you to automate so many of the systems that you don't have to worry about pretty much anything in this plane. Alright, looking at the windsock over there, we are going to actually have a little bit of headwind on our way out. That's good. So we're coming into Alpha now, so it's gonna be a left-hand turn over here, and then we will hold short of runway 4 left. I can see traffic on final over there, so we will probably actually be stopping. Okay, the left side is clear.
November Hotel Echo, hold short of runway 04 left 737 on a 1 mile final.
Holding short 04 left, November Hotel Echo. Alright, and there comes the 737. Bang. That must have been a former Ryanair pilot. Okay, so for the takeoff briefing, it's a left sea takeoff runway 4 right, flaps takeoff, noise abatement procedure number 2.
Runway 4 left.
Checked. And yeah, speeds 110, 115, 120, and flaps 0 speed 200. Alright, everything is on automatic, including the speed management, and that's it. Questions? November Hotel Echo, request crossing runway 04 left.
November Hotel Echo, cross runway 04 left approved.
Crossing runway 04 left approved, November Hotel Echo. Alright, so a little bit of thrust to get moving. Crossing the runway, and then it's gonna be on to Whiskey and a right-hand turn to the full lane.
Contact tower on 118.7, bye-bye.
118.7, November Hotel Echo, bye-bye. East Tower, November 420, Hotel Echo. Alright, so here's Whiskey.
November 50, Hotel Echo, Nice Tower. Not clear what you said. Say again.
Yeah, with that French accent, I'm not surprised.
4 left.
No.
Red nose 3640, contact ground on 121.705.
So that red nose was the 737 that landed earlier. Well, and then we're basically good to go, aren't we? So you can already get your departure chart. Like this. November 450 Hotel Echo, ready for departure.
November Hotel Echo, runway 04 right, line up and wait.
Runway 04 right, line up and wait, November Hotel Echo. Before takeoff checklist, flaps set for takeoff, trims set for takeoff, speed brake retracted.
A320 on a 7-mile final runway, 04 left, winds 250 at 4, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 04 right, cleared for takeoff, no delay, November Hotel Echo. Okay, CAS messages checked, navigation set, flight guidance set.
Runway 04
Takeoff and landing data is confirmed. Takeoff briefing completed. Radar, well, is off for the time being. Ice protection is also off, and that's the before takeoff checklist complete. So after takeoff checklist will be next. Weather definitely not an issue, so let's get rolling.
Runway 4 right remaining. 9,600.
Okay, ready? Take off. Thrust set. 80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive climb. Gear up. Okay, your Emperor has come on.
Red nose 3640, 0,
FMS, and level change. So a little bit of manual flight here.
Hotel Echo. Contact departure on 130.83.
130.83 November Hotel Echo. Nice departure on November 450 Hotel Echo, passing 1,700, climbing 5,000. Okay, flaps up. Climb thrust set. And of course we don't get any answer here. Should be 13083. Well, that is what we got. Nice departure, November 450 Hotel Echo, passing 3,000, climbing 5,000.
November 450 Hotel Echo, Nice departure identified, climb via the SID.
Climb via the SID, 450 Hotel Echo. Okay, vertical speed. And alt capture, fine. So, speed limit 210, and now we can start the right-hand turn. An entire route indicator down here on the CDI is a little strange in this airplane. Like, that could have been more accurate if I look down here.
Contact Marcel control on 127.905.
Autopilot 127.905 November Hotel Echo. Marseille control, November 450 Hotel Echo, maintaining 5,000 feet.
November 450 Hotel Echo, Marseille control identified. Good afternoon, Nice QNH 1010.
1010 November Hotel Echo. November Hotel Echo, request further climb.
November Hotel Echo, climb altitude 7,000 feet.
Climbing altitude 7,000, November Hotel Echo. What is the FMS doing here? Like we're going into a completely wrong direction, are we? I mean, that line looks accurate, but look at the wind. 192 at 3. This is more like 192 at 300. But are we actually flying into the correct direction here? What is happening? I'm looking outside. We are flying straight. I'm looking down here. We're flying into a whole wrong direction. What is going on? The heading indication is wrong, is it? Like, look at this, the track line is correct. But we're showing a completely wrong heading. What is going on? What is that map centered on? Heading up. That can't be. Okay, we got a problem with our navigational system. Map settings. Yeah, traffic should be on anyway, but orientation, what do we get if we go track up? North up? Oh, wrong display. But look at that, our heading is showing wrong over here as well. Like, what on earth? Okay, switch this over to the right hand side. Map settings. I want track up. Alright, this is better. But this is completely wrong then. Like, look at that. Like, what is going on with that heading? Okay, for now. It cleared to 7,000. So I actually turned that auto throttle on for now. Heading 260. Do we have a standby compass in this plane? Like a good old magnetic compass? Because that would be rather useful right now. I've never seen this before. Never. The GPS tells us we're flying track 317. Like, that's correct down here. But... okay, set standard.
November Hotel Echo, climb flight level 230.
Climbing flight level 230, November Hotel Echo. Alright, climb 210, level change 210. If I press heading sync, it actually synchronizes on 261. I do not understand this. Those instruments making zero sense to me here. Okay, after takeoff checklist, let's not get too distracted here. So, landing gear is up, yaw damper engaged, flaps up, thrust levers MCT, flight guidance is on, ice protection off, cabin signs stay on for the time being, after takeoff checklist complete. Man, I'm telling you honestly, never seen something like that before. I have a suspicion, but I don't want to voice that just yet. And I think you can kind of guess where that suspicion is going at already. GSX. Pushback. You know, the way that GSX is invasive to your sim when it's pushing you. I could imagine that that has caused a desynchronization of the heading. But that's really just a suspicion. Have no proof for that. All I can say is for now, I've never seen something like that before. Well, nonetheless, I'd say this kind of works. I'm just trying to see if we can go track up on this one. Probably not, though.
November Hotel Echo, climb flight level 300.
Climbing flight level 300, November Hotel Echo. Set 300 checked. Alright, well, we're just gonna accept it like that for now. And, yeah, then I suppose I see you all a bit later. Let's also turn the cabin power on by now so that our guests get their USB chargers and stuff to work. And yeah, then I see you all later on when we start the approach into Nice or into Birmingham. So for now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. Alright everyone, we are on approach to Birmingham and we can start talking about a couple of the details of our approach. Now, it is going to be a rather interesting one today, because we will definitely have to fly on radar vectors, and we still have this huge discrepancy between the track and, or rather between the heading and the indicated heading. I really can't explain where that comes from. Absolutely can't explain it. Especially right now. I mean, look at this. Heading showing 228. The wind is coming from the right. And we're drifting to the right? That makes no sense whatsoever. So that is something that we really got to pay attention to when we should receive radar vectors later on. Alright, anyway, we are clear to descend to flight level 70, so I'm not sure why the airplane levels off in level 90. Let's go out of VNAV and into vertical speed mode here. November 450 Hotel Echo, request radar vectors for the approach.
November Hotel Echo, descend altitude 4,000 feet, turn right heading 330 vectors for the ILS runway 15 approach, QNH 1012.
Descend 4,000, QNH 1012 and turning right heading 330, November 450 Hotel Echo. Alright, now comes the interesting part. 330, we got about 45 degrees drift, so let's make it 285. On our indicated heading over here, and then see where that's gonna bring us. Now, I think we can use the nav display over here, because I've switched that into into a track up display, so that should be a good indication whether we are flying into the correct direction. Okay, so we talked about a lot of that stuff already. Let's go ahead and have a quick look into the approach charts now. We're going into Echo Golf Bravo Bravo, Birmingham. Then we need the approach charts, ILS runway 15. So everything is going to auto-tune except for the minimum, which is 503. So we got to go into the utilities, minimum 503, and that is barometric, enter. And here we go, so we got that now. Okay, we're now passing the field in 7,000, that's quite good. I think 1,000 feet a minute is doing the job just fine over here. And then let's switch into manual speed control, just so that the FMS doesn't automatically start to decelerate before we want it to do so. Okay, so active nav can go on to the localizer, and course 146 is auto-tuned, that's correct. Frequency 110.1 is also auto-tuned, and India Bravo India Romeo is checked as identifier over there. Alright, I think with that we've covered the important stuff over here, so let's go into the approach checklist. Seats and signs adjusted and secure, passenger briefing complete, cabin signs on, avionics set, landing data set and confirmed, CAS messages checked, approach briefing completed, and flaps to go. And that's the approach checklist complete for now. Okay, I like it. Then let's go ahead and activate radar vectors to final. Like that, here we go. Okay, arriving at waypoint. No, I don't think so. You got like 7 miles to that point. 8 miles even, 8.1. But okay, we'll just leave that as it is for the time being. Alrighty. So, ready for base at any time. 450 Hotel Echo is ready to turn base anytime. Okay, QNH 1013,
November Hotel Echo, descend altitude 4,000 feet, turn right heading 355 vectors for the ILS runway 15 approach.
Right heading 355, November Hotel Echo. So that's like 25 degrees to the right. Something like heading 310, I think. And 1,000 to go is checked. Alright, so for our taxi in we can already prepare the taxi chart over here. By the way, in terms of the heading versus track issue, I did write with the FlightFX support in the meantime, and they confirmed that they have a couple of reports of this issue and they are monitoring it. I did also ask them about the missing ground charts, and they are blaming that on Navigraph. However, the Navigraph in their forum writes that they fixed it 2 days ago, and users confirmed that it is fixed, and I have that update installed, but it isn't working. So FlightFX probably has to look into that again. Alright, I'll capture. Come on, we're 15 miles out. Why are we flying into the wrong direction? Let's start slowing down towards 220 here. There's no sense flying fast into the wrong direction after all. And over here, Echo, Golf, Bravo, Bravo. You can also get that approach chart, please. Thank you. Okay, ready to receive the final vector at any time. Can we turn to the final?
November Hotel Echo. Turn right heading 130, descend altitude 2500 feet. Cleared for the ILS runway 15 approach.
Right heading 130, descending 2500, cleared ILS 15, November Hotel Echo. Now that vector actually doesn't sound too bad. 500 feet a minute. We are 18 miles out, that should be fine. And looking at this, we are intercepting the final straight away, so once we are facing into the runway direction, I will activate approach mode. That's to prevent the localizer mode from capturing into back course mode, and then flying the localizer in reverse direction. So now the big question. I suppose it's not gonna do any good here, but we'll try. Alright. Approach armed, localizer capture. I don't know how reliable that wind indication is, because 250 at 46 would be quite the crosswind. But I guess we are going to find out. 1000 to go. Left and right, fuel quantity low, 530 pounds. Interesting. That means we probably used a little bit more fuel than we should have. Of course, I do remember the flight plan saying that we should arrive with something like 600 pounds in the tanks. But we'll just accept that for the time being. I'm going to maintain the 220 knots until the glide slope starts coming in, then we'll start reducing so that we get a nice and quiet approach down on the ground. In the meantime, quick check here. I think we'll be parking on that side, on the Anden apron. Or maybe over here. I think they said stand 60. Let's just go ahead and have a look. And 60 is up here in the corner. Okay, that's fine with me. So then we are going to vacate probably in Tango, so that we got the easiest taxi in. Okay.
November Hotel Echo, contact Birmingham Tower on 118.305 when established.
118.305, November Hotel Echo, see ya. Birmingham Tower, November 450 Hotel Echo, established ILS 15.
150 Hotel Echo, Birmingham Tower identified. Continue approach runway 15.
Tower shouldn't identify us, but hey. Alright, the glide slope's coming alive. Let's start reducing our airspeed. Down to 160 for now.
November Hotel Echo, winds 190 at 11, runway 15, clear to land.
Runway 15, clear to land, November Hotel Echo. Alright, slowing down. We are below the flap extension speed, so once we capture the glide, we'll go flaps approach. And here we go, flaps approach. Gear down. And glide slope capture. Go around altitude 3000. Set.
2000.
Checked. Okay, a little bit of drift from the right. 240 degrees, 44 knots. Before landing checklist. I think we might actually need that speed brake here to slow her down. Luckily she got that super effective speed brake, so that's no problem at all. So 113 should be our approach speed. And that's set. Right, flaps full. Let's see if that does anything, but I think that looks good. Alright, before landing checklist. Landing gear down, speed brake retracted, flaps landing, airspeed reducing, and autopilot yaw damper will be disengaged before landing checklist complete. Alright. Autopilot off and auto throttle off. So we're doing a ground speed of 104 while flying at 114. That means that the wind is not just coming from the right as indicated, but it is actually giving us quite the bit of headwind. So I suppose the wind direction indication is wrong as well. Okay, speed is checked, correcting.
500.
500, continue. Man, that is some lovely turbulence here. That's a lot of fun to fly.
300.
Okay, correcting glide slope. Minimum, continue. Alright, flare and touchdown. Okay, speed brake up. Lovely brakes, and speed brakes are retracted again.
November Hotel Echo, welcome to Birmingham. Contact ground on 121.805.
121.805, November Hotel Echo. Birmingham ground, November 450 Hotel Echo. Request taxi to the gate.
November Hotel Echo, taxi to Terminal Gate 60 via Tango Delta Victor. Good day.
Tango Delta Victor to the Gate 60, November Hotel Echo. Good day. Alright, Delta is over here, then Victor is the entry to the apron. Easy. Good, so flaps are going up and engine anti-ice is coming off. The rest should basically be automatic. So, landing checklist is complete. After landing checklist, cabin signs on, engine anti-ice off, speed brake retracted, flaps up, and trim set in green band. After landing checklist complete. Okay, well, we're here at 13:08, so that means we are pretty much on time. Even though the plane is probably going to get grounded here because of the heading indication issue, I do hope that they have a maintenance facility available, because we definitely do need to get that investigated before we are going to go fly again. The good news is that the developer is already working on it. The bad news is that the plane is distributed via Marketplace, and that means that it's probably going to take at least a week until we are going to see a fix. So, in other words, while we've gotten that absolutely beautiful plane that is a lot of fun and very, very tempting to fly, unfortunately, it is going to be grounded for probably at least another week. So, yeah, wish we could do more against that, but I'm afraid that's what it is for the time being. Now, we are probably parking to the left of that Embraer on the right side, gate number 60. If you know the real Birmingham and know where private jets would be parking on the real Birmingham, then do put it into the comments below, please, because I definitely do not, unfortunately. Alright, here we go, gate 60 to the right. And here we are. So a little bit of power to make sure we actually get all the way up front. There's no marshaller over here. That's kind of expected, isn't it? Okay, and here we are. So, parking brake is set. Wheel chocks to come later. Engine anti-ice off. External power is not available. Thrust levers 1 and 2, shut off, cabin signs. Are off, oxygen supply. Off, parking brake, well we don't have, actually we can get ourselves some chocks. So, weight and services and chocks. Here we go, so chocks are installed, without the parking brake is released. And battery off, shutdown checklist complete. And with that, welcome to Birmingham. It was an interesting flight for sure, especially figuring out the navigation issue on the departure. But yeah, plane is grounded for the time being until that is fixed. So, leaving all the issues aside, the plane comes at a price of $25 US. And once the heading issue is fixed, I think I can definitely recommend it. For the time being though, with the heading issue in place, I think we are grounded. If you do own the plane and gathered some experience with the issue, then do let me know in the comments beneath. I would very much be interested in your opinion over here. As always, like, comment and subscribe, and if you do love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.